Welcome to the Best Ever You Show with your host, Elizabeth Hamilton-Guarino, best-selling author, master life coach, and founder of the Best Ever You Network. Celebrating over 15 years and millions of downloads, this show is your destination for real conversations, real stories, and real change. Get ready to be inspired, empowered, and elevated. This is your moment. Let's go.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Best Ever You Show. I'm your host, Elizabeth Hamilton-Guarino, and I am so grateful you're here with me today. Today's episode is personal. It's not an interview, and it's not a list of tips. It's a conversation from my heart to yours, and it's about gratitude, one of my favorite topics. What if gratitude isn't something you feel? What if it's something you choose? Even when life is hard, even when things don't go your way, and even when you are overwhelmed, and especially then, actually. If you've been with me for a while, you know that gratitude isn't just something I talk about. It's something I live, and it's something I've had to practice, not just when things are good, but actually when they're not. I'm a mom of 4 sons. I've been married to my husband, Peter, for nearly 30 years. I've built my work from home with Best Ever You since 2008. And I live with multiple life-threatening food allergies. They're not preferences or things I choose to not eat, and they're definitely not sensitivities to food. They're full-on life-threatening food allergies called anaphylaxis. This is the kind of allergy where you read every label, you ask every question, and sometimes feel like the world isn't built for you. I know I feel that way a lot. So, food allergy community, if you're listening, and I'll be honest with you, there have been moments where it would have been very easy to say, this is too much, this isn't fair, I can't do this. I've actually said those things. But somewhere along the way, I learned something simple, something powerful, and I call it the gratitude flip. The gratitude flip, which you read about in my books, the Change Guidebook, the Success Guidebook, and the Peace Guidebook, which I co-authored with Dr. Katie Eastman. The gratitude flip is a moment when you catch yourself saying, I have to, and you gently shift it to, I get to. It's not in a fake way or forced way or anything like that, but in a conscious and intentional way. For example, I have to manage these food allergies becomes, I get to take care of myself in a way that keeps me safe and alive. I have to cook another dinner becomes I get to nourish my family. Or I have to figure this out becomes I get to grow through this. I love that one. I get to grow through this. So anytime you have an I have to, replace it with an I get to. And listen, that doesn't mean everything suddenly feels easy or anything like that, but it changes that moment of how you meet your life. So let's pause for a moment, if you're able to, and just take a breath and ask yourself, where in my life am I saying I have to? And what might it look like if I gently shift it to I get to with no judgment and just complete awareness? Gratitude isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see what's still possible. It's about grounding yourself in something steady when everything else feels uncertain. So I'll tell you this story. It's my word of the year story. And it's gone viral, and it's pretty funny. I don't know if it's credited fully to Best Ever You or not, but whatever. But about 15 years ago, I started something in the Best Ever You community, and we began choosing a word of the year. And my first recording similar to this was on abundance, and it was in a terrible moment where I didn't feel abundant at all. I felt sad and a bunch of things, and I'm like, I'm going to flip the script on this, and I'm going to root in abundance for 1 year, and I'm going to learn everything I can about abundance. And since then, our community has been choosing a word of the year. And you see it all over Twitter and Facebook and social media and Instagram. That's from Best Ever You in that one moment. But that one word guides us. It's one word to come back to. And this year, my word has been gratitude. Again, not because life is easy, but because gratitude is what roots me. And so I've done gratitude now 3 times, I think, in the 15 years. I love gratitude. So think about a tree. It doesn't grow because everything around it is perfect. It grows because its roots are strong, and gratitude is that root. It keeps you grounded, it keeps you steady, keeps you connected, it gives you perspective, and it gives you that perspective and that connectedness and that rootedness even when life feels chaotic. I think I just made up a word, but that's okay. So let's talk about food allergies for a minute because we've got a food allergy community here in this audience, and this Best Ever You community is a food allergy community as well. So these are moments in my life, real moments where I've had to sit at a table and not eat, where I've had to ask questions that make pretty much everybody feel uncomfortable. Holidays, business meetings, airlines, whatever it is. I've had a lot of moments where I've had to choose safety over something easy. And in those moments, gratitude becomes something different. It's not loud, it's quiet. It sounds like I'm still here, I'm okay, and I can navigate this. So let's take another moment here. I love journal prompts. We all know that. I'm the journal prompt queen. So here's a journal prompt for you. What is one challenge in your life right now that could hold even a small opportunity for gratitude? Not the whole thing or anything like that, just a piece of gratitude, even one where you could flip the script. This is something I talk about in my work, bringing gratitude into your work through the Best Ever You Network, through books like I mentioned already, the Change Guidebook, the Success Guidebook, and now the Peace Guidebook, which releases April 21st, 2026. Gratitude is not separate from change. Gratitude actually helps you move through change. And it's not separate from success either. It's what helps you define success. And it's not separate from peace either. It's what helps you practice it. I think gratitude is at the root of all three things: change, success, and peace. So let's talk a little bit more. You don't need to have a perfect life to feel grateful. And I know I don't, you certainly don't need to have everything figured out. At any age, you can implement gratitude. You don't need to wait. You can begin right here, right now. So if you're listening right now, I want you to try something simple out loud or in your mind or even on paper if you need to, but let's do it out loud. Let's say one thing you're grateful for, just one thing, and let it completely land. Because gratitude isn't about ignoring what's hard. It's about choosing how you stand and show up in the middle of anything. It's about saying, I'm here, I'm present, and I'm going to meet this moment with awareness and gratefulness. You don't have to change your whole life today, maybe just your perspective. Love gratitude. So thank you for being with me here today. I hope this has helped you in some small way. If this has resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might need it. And as always, be your best, pause for peace, and help the world be better. I'll see you next time. Thanks for being here with me.